But there's an argument to be made that some of these CEOs are borrowing the money to pursue buybacks and dividends and other financial engineering initiatives because they're worried that otherwise, if they don't, you're coming.
Yeah, I know they say that, but that's not true, okay? They buy it back because they have options, okay? And they want their stock up, and that's all they really care about, and that's human nature. They know they're not very good at what they do. They really do know this, and they don't even want to do it. They're out there, they're all scratch golfers, these guys, and they really, and by the way, even if I was coming, they're right with me. They're saying, great, let's just keep buying the stock back. You know, there are companies out there, many of them, by the way, that are going at 30 times earnings because they keep increasing earnings because they're buying back stock. I mean, each one is a little bit of a different story, but they're buying back stock, buying it back at very low interest rates, and inflating earnings by, they're not in any way showing you the real earnings, okay? They're looking, you look at a lot of these, for instance, they're not depreciating correctly. They're going in, and if you look at a lot of companies, I mean, Valiant's a perfect example, but you have other ones too. I mean, Valiant's a ridiculous example, right? I mean, Valiant, the analysts let them get away with it. They go in and they say, well, we're not going to care about GAAP earnings. We're not going to care about GAAP earnings. Okay, nobody cares. Good. Okay, so Valiant goes and buys a company that has a product, a compound. It's a good compound, but it's going off patent in 3 years. So we don't care about that. We don't have to amortize that because we're so good. We'll buy other companies. But by the way, when they buy the other company, it's not research and development. They're not expensing it. So we'll buy these other companies. So we're great. And the analysts are genius, you're geniuses, and go ahead and do it. So the earnings are so overstated because take a lot of companies, take intangible assets, goodwill, you don't amortize it when you give guidance. So your earnings are way overstated in this country.
You mentioned Valiant. Did you listen to Bill Ackman's phone call last week?
No, I didn't listen to him, but I can imagine. I know what he said. I'm not mad at Ackman anymore. We're not going to get into that. We're friends. We're friends. I mean, in quotes, we're friends. I disagree with him completely. I disagree with him completely on Herbalife. But so I'm not going to
disagree with him on Valiant.
I'm not in Valiant. I don't want to say I'm not completely in it, but I'm not going to tell you where I am with it. But that's not the issue. The issue really is the issue really is. And I don't even want to use Valiant. I'm using a concept. Valiant, they're picking on Valiant in a way because a lot of companies are doing the same damn thing. A lot of companies overstating earnings in this country. And you could just look at it and I mean, this is what I do for a living. I mean, I know a lot of these companies just overstating earnings. One day, there's going to be a day of comeuppance, okay? And it's going to be a very tough day or a week. I agree a lot with what Stanley said, but you don't know when. You have real problems. I mean, not to go back to a thing, but I was reading something today, while I was working, that, what is it, Alliance Bernstein says that these ETFs are very unsafe, and they are. They are. These ETFs, to coin what Buffett said about the derivatives, they're weapons of mass destruction because what stands behind an ETF are bonds that don't trade. I mean, ask Larry Fink, and he's a good guy, and I like him, and we're friends, but ask Larry Fink, if he doesn't think they're unsafe, is he going to guarantee liquidity? So when people want to get out of the ETF and they want to sell the bonds that are behind them, who the hell's going to buy those bonds? Is Larry Fink going to buy them? Right. Okay, that's my whole point. BlackRock's not going to buy them.
With friends like these, between Bill Ackman and Larry Fink, these are great friends. Let me ask.
Hey, I never said anything bad about Ackman.
Well, let me ask.